Okay, good morning everybody. Let us start. So in our last lecture we were discussing static modifier. Okay. Pencil class. Let me see if I do have it. Okay. Time is short. Better I will discuss this in my next section, and I will share my video with you, or I will cover this, and also I will cover this in our next lecture. Okay, so today, as usual, let us review our test questions. Oh, you don't see it? I'm sorry. Let us review old exams. So in our last lecture, yes. Yes, it is graded. Everything is graded, but we are discussing about how carving. So.
Take your time. Curve it a lot, please.
Yeah, we are. I argued a lot for. Let us see what happens. So in our last class, we discussed fall 2018 test questions. So let us today discuss spring 2019 test questions. Okay. Okay, the first question is about a class. Okay, create a class. The question is that, okay, storage wars. Okay, so when you see your questions like this, so our test developer, they spend time and they want to give us something new, with new flavor. Like they want to make a question as a story. Okay, so let us read this. Okay, create a class with the name and variable or attributes listed below. Okay, so what are the class? This is the class name, and these are the variables or attributes. Okay, create a default constructor with no parameters that assign default values for each variable. Okay, then create an overloaded constructor with one parameter for each variable. Okay, finally create a method that runs the total number of items in storage container. Okay, note this method must not print anything. Okay, we don't need any print statement, but it is use point 50 points. So in your upcoming test, if you do not understand how to develop a class, then you are in bad condition. You must understand. You see that 50 question in one 50 points in one question. If you don't understand or you cannot do it, you will lose a lot of points, right? So far, whatever we discussed, you should be able to do this. Okay, so you see that they added the page, they made the page in segments, because it is expected that you should be able to write this section here within this code. Okay, class name and variable. So what is my class name here? Piggy Penny. Okay, so let us do class Piggy Penny. Okay, piggy bank, right? So I'm writing test code, pretty not pseudocode. Okay, pseudocode I'm writing. So if you write pseudocode, you have to complete it. If you write program code, you have to complete it. Okay, so like this class, and this is my end of class, and I have, these are my variables, but I have to declare these fields or attributes of variable with appropriate data type, right? So what could be a data type for quarters? Yes, it should be integer, right? Integer quarters. What should be for dimes? Similar integer dimes. Like how many dimes I do have, how many quarters I do have in my bank. So this must be a whole number, right? So it cannot be a float, it cannot be a string, it cannot be a boolean, it cannot be a character, right? And nickel, same thing, int nickels, and int integer pennies. Okay. Okay, so if you write in program code, you need to give semicolon at the end. Okay, so this is the declaration of class and variables or fields. That's it. So main thing is that we need to use class keyword and the class name followed by an opening curly brace and ended with a closing curly brace. If it is C++, if you write in C++ format, you have to close with a semicolon. In C++, you have to end with a semicolon like this. Okay. Anyone has any question so far? That's it. This part. Everyone understands? Okay, so this part is good. Create a class and with the name and fields of variable listed below. So I'm done for the class. Okay. So next part, create a default constructor with no parameter that assigns default values for each variables. Okay, I need to do this part. So we need to recall what is a constructor. A constructor is a method of a class or a function of a class that does not have any return type, that does not return any value. Okay, that has same name exactly of its class name. So what do we need? Actually, let me copy this code. Okay, by the way, so if I want to save your space, I can do it like this way. If I use semicolon in a program, then I can use all in one line, right? Even I can use all in one line. That's it. So I want to save my space. So let me make some space. So default constructor. Okay, so let me do a constructor like this. Okay, let me make it public. In general, we want to say constructor public. Even if you do not say public, you will not lose any point, but generally you should do this. So this is not my constructor yet. So what did I do wrong here? Can anyone please help me? You did not what I did not do? Yes, it is not a constructor yet, so I have to use parenthesis. This is the symbol of a method. If you lose this parenthesis, you will lose point. No, I use both.
The one at the bottom, the curly bracket at the bottom.
Oh, sorry. Okay, thank you. Okay, that is my mistake. Sorry. And this is I'm mentioning this one in opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis. This is a symbol of a method. So if you miss this, you will lose point. Okay. So default constructor. So then assign default values for each variable. Let us put some default variables. So it give you option. Anything you can say. You can how many quarters you want to do. You can say 4 quarters. Just we'll make it $1, and then you can say 10 dimes. Anything you can say. That is your option. You are free to do this, right? Nickels. How many nickels I do? Let me do 20 nickels so that I can get $1. And let me make 100 pennies. You don't need to make like this, but whatever value you assign, that's okay. any default value you have to assign. So any object in the for the piggy bank you will create that will make with that will come up with that will born with 10 quarter, 4 quarters, 10 dimes, 20 nickels, and 100 pennies. That's it for this part. So I'm done this part. Anyone has any question? So it says create a default constructor with no parameters. Even if you were asked with no parameters, you could give no parameters. The default constructor usually does not have any parameter, but it can have parameter. But what is meant by default? That means mainly default means that you will assign default values or hard-coded values for the fields of a class. So what I'm doing here. Anything you can do for any quarters, any number of quarters, any number of dimes, but this value must match with the data type. Okay, you cannot say 4 like we as a string. You cannot say. Like if you double quote 4, that means this number is this is a value with string type, right? So that does not match with quarters data type. Quarter data type is integer, so this value must be an integer value, so I cannot do this. I have to do this. Everybody is okay? Okay, that's good. So I want to save again some space. I want to create. So here is the important thing. You see that, remember that this part, this symbol. Okay. Okay, this is says then create an overloaded constructor, one overloaded constructor with one parameter of each variable. Okay, I need to make an overloaded constructor with one parameter of is, so this is my constructor, so let me create this one and or type in, let me type in what I can do. Okay, this is my constructor and I don't need this, actually what I need. So my constructor will have with one parameter of each variable. So what are my variables over here, right? This, right? Integer quarters, integer dimes, int nickel, and int pennies. So just I can copy this, but I need to make a little bit changes over here. Can anyone please help me? What did I do mistake over here? I have some mistakes over here. Yes, semicolon should be commas, okay? It should be comma. So if you make semicolon, then you will lose some point. Okay, then what? I need to assign this, I need to link this with this, right? So what can I say? This dot, can anyone please help me? This dot quarters equal to quarters, okay? This dot dimes equal to dimes, okay? I can write all in one line as long as I use semicolon, okay? Semicolon is fine. And what else? This dot nickels equal to nickels, and Yeah, help me please, someone. Yes, you help me. Yes, this dot pennies equal to pennies. Okay, I'm sorry. You see, when you write a program using pen or pencil. Okay, so be careful about something. For instance, there is an unexpected space over here. So if you write on hand, using hand, paper or pencil, and if I grade it like manually, then I will always skip it. But try to avoid, to be careful to not to give space as much as you can. Especially if you have a habit to write all of letters, all of what is that called, alphabets in uppercase or lowercase, be careful. Don't do that. Especially our language is case sensitive. So if you type in this as THIS, this is not good. This is not a good habit, okay? So please, if you have a habit to type in like this way, please change your habit when you type in your program code. Okay, so let me make it 2 lines so that it's okay. That's it. Anybody has any questions about this? So this is my, okay? Okay, thank you. So this is my default constructor, this is my argumented constructor or overloaded constructor. Why I am telling this overloaded? Because I have already a constructor and I am defining another constructor. We discussed that a class can have multiple constructors, right? A class can have multiple constructors as long as they are different in terms of their number of parameters or type of parameters. This concept is called overloading, function overloading or method overloading. In case of constructor, it will be called constructor overloading. Okay, anyone has any question? Okay, let's go our last part. Finally, create a method. It's called finally create a method that returns the total number of items in the storage container. What it will do? Create method that what it will do? It will return total number of items. What are my items? Let us think. In this class, what are my items? My items are how many? Items are quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies. That means I have to return quarters plus number of quarters plus number of dimes plus number of nickels plus number of pennies, right? That's it. Okay, so I need to return some of this. Okay, it is optional that it does not tell you what the method you need to give name. Any name you can choose, right? Okay, for instance, let us, okay, any name I can say public. Okay, I'm keeping some space, blank space over here. Someone needs to tell me what I need to put over here. Any name I can give my method. I can say item count. Okay. Okay, someone tell me what I need to do here. I can usually say return like this way, number of quarters plus dimes plus nickels plus pennies. I can give this parenthesis or I cannot give this parenthesis, but it's okay. But if I give this parenthesis, then it looks good. Or I can do this way. There are multiple ways you can do. if you can say, okay, but okay, so I use return, I'm returning something, right? So what do I need to put over here on the blank space? Yes, why do I need to put int? Yes, this method you will be return some integer value, right? So I need to put my return type over here. So then everybody understand why I'm putting int over here? What else if I say void over here? What if I say void here? So if I say void over here, then I cannot return anything. Then this will be a great mistake. Okay. So as long as I say integer and I can say all return in one statement, or I can refactor my code, I can say whatever I can say total, and then I can say this way, total equal to int total equal to, I can say something like this. Okay, and then actually I can say this, I need to close this. Okay, I can say like this, int my total equal to, why I am saying another, I am declaring another integer variable that will hold my total. So if you declare another individual variable, then you need to put is type. But okay, but in case if you do not want to do this, then what you can do, you can say all, you can delete all of this, and then instead of this, instead of return total, you can say return quarters plus dimes plus nickels plus pennies. But in order to look good, so if you put parenthesis, then it will be clear. Anyone has any question? Okay, and that my major, yeah, so here if I say void, then there will be great mistake, right? So if I say void, then I cannot have return, but I can print return. Okay, I can have a print statement over here after that, but this program says this method must not print anything. Okay, there is a restriction that if it did not say this condition, then what I could say, in that case I could say maybe I could say print something if it did not have this condition. You see the condition, this has a huge impact. If there is no condition like this method does not print anything, then I could say print this. But since I cannot have a print statement here, so I need to return this, and if I want to return this, I need to make integer over here. Anyone has any question? So as long as you understand the question, there is not too much to write, but you have to understand. Okay, I have uploaded previous lectures videos, and I will upload maybe last lecture videos and today's lecture videos on my YouTube channel. I like everybody, please watch this again and again and practice programming. This is the concept that you have to practice. I urge you to practice, because when you write, when you practice, then you will see that you will do some mistakes. And those mistakes will be good pillars for you to understand or to learn. Whenever you you find some mistakes or error message, do not get heart attack, okay? Just read the error message, try to understand where the error is coming from, okay? Usually on error message there will be a line number. It will say on that line maybe there is something mistake. Your error usually on that line or above of those. Whenever you say line number, for instance 10 line number, your error will be either line number 10 or 9 or 8, 7, 5, 4 something. Not below that line number, okay? So please, yes, anyone has any question? Yeah, please practice. Please practice this and then, okay, by the way, your test, let me see. Just after 2 weeks, you will have your test 3, and in your test 3, we will cover until mostly this class and object, and we will cover module 7. Okay, module 7, part 1, that is one-dimensional array. Part of module 7, not two-dimensional array. Okay, we will, for your test, you will have class, object, and also one-dimensional array. Maybe from Friday we will start one-dimensional array, or next week we will start one-dimensional array. So you're done, right? You're good, right? Okay. So let us see that if there is another question. Okay, that's good. I was expecting this. Okay, now it says it is alive. Create 2 new objects of the class you just created. So whatever class I just created, I need to create 2 objects. Okay. One using the default constructor and another using the overloaded constructor. You see 20 points. So 750 plus 20. 70 points for one question. Okay. So first object and second object. You are not asked to write even the main method. If you are asked to write main method, you could write main method, right? Public static void main, or even say main, that's it. But how can I create an object? Who can volunteer me? Yeah, what is your name? Chris, yes, Chris, volunteer me, please. How can I create an object with default constructor? Okay, by the way, let me recall, my class name is piggy bank. Okay, type in whatever, tell me what I want to type in.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you have to type?
Yeah, tell me.
Type piggy bank,
P.
1. Oh, letter by letter.
Yes.
I'll give it to someone else.
Yes, PIGGYBANK, piggy bank. Then what? You want to volunteer me? Yes. Ah?
1. 1. O-N.
Okay, ON, 1.
E. You're missing an E.
1. Okay. Then what? Equal. New. Piggy bank. Then, am I done or do I need anything? Huh? Semicolon. That's good. Thank you. So 10 points, right? That's writing for one line. Okay. Okay, just for one line, writing one line, you will get 10 points. Okay, the next one, second object. From this side, someone help me please from the front. Yes. Yes.
So in C++ is right.
Whatever you can say, C++ or that language. I know C++ also.
Piggy bank.
Okay. Piggy bank.
2. TWO.
Then 2.
Well, you got a space.
Okay, thank you. 2.
And then after the 2, open up the parentheses.
Open a parenthesis.
Then you need to have how many arguments? 5, 4?
4.
Okay. Then you can write 1,
Number 1 or any one?
the integer 1,
Okay, 1, comma,
3, the integer 3,
3,
the integer 4,
4,
and the integer 5.
then integer 5, okay.
After a comma. Close that parentheses.
Close that parenthesis,
And semicolon.
semicolon. This is actually C++ format, he told me, okay. So in C++, I don't need to put new, okay. But I must need space over here. Okay. C++ format, you can create this. Okay, let me, this is in C++. People don't, taking C# and Java, don't confuse this. Okay, if I type in this in Java and C#, people help me. What do I need to do? 2 equal to new piggy bank okay, this is my Java and C# format. That's it, 70 points. Oh, okay, so there are another part, call me maybe. For each of these two objects, call the method that calculates the total number of items for each case. Give me 1 more minute, please. You can't? Okay, so for each of these objects, we need to call the method that counts the total, right? Item count. So I need to put just 2 more lines. 1 dot item count, that's it. And another variable is another object 2 dot item counts, that's it. So be careful when you type in, do not give a space over here, try to avoid this, and that's it. Okay, another 10 points. That means 80 points for one question.
Hey. Hi, my friend. Young Todd. But, I noticed someone wrote something that probably would offend someone. Disrespectful. Do you want me to erase it?
Let me see.
I can erase it.
Anyone has any question? Okay, thank you so much. I will